Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, all of you.
Very good morning, ma'am. Sir.
Okay. Okay. Let me share the screen. Then we'll come to our point of discussion. So, in the last three classes, in the last three sessions, we have already discussed the three parts, or the previous three parts of the rhyme of the poem, the rhyme of the ancient mariner by S.T. Coleridge. We have already discussed the three parts, and let's just have a quick recap of the previous three parts. So in the first part, I was explaining the summary of I was telling you the summary of the previous three parts uh, at the end of the session in the last class, but it was timed out. Okay, the time was set and it was timed out, so it was not completed. So let me tell you in the very beginning of the a quick recap of the previous three sessions. So in the first part, or part one of the poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, we saw an ancient mariner who is meeting three people. Okay, who is meeting three people, and those three people are actually the wedding guests. And one of the wedding guests has been stopped by the ancient mariner, and who is somehow, although, just a second. Okay, which somehow it has not been told in the poem directly, but we can imagine in that way that somehow the wedding guest has been hypnotized by the beautiful eyes and the beautiful just a second, the gray beard, has been told in the poem, the gray beard and the glittering eyes. So the wedding guest has been hypnotized by the appearance of the ancient mariner, and after being hypnotized, uh, the wedding guest is forced to listen to whatever the ancient mariner is telling to him. And the ancient mariner, he started telling a tale. He told a tale of a voyage that he had previously had. Okay, and in the meantime, when the ancient mariner started telling the story, uh, the wedding guest, he was somehow very rebelling. He was somehow he was revolting against listening to the tale by the ancient mariner, because the reason was that he wanted to join a wedding ceremony. And as has been told by the wedding guest in the poem, that all other of his family members have already entered into the wedding hall, and he is next to enter into it. Okay, and in the meantime, he is listening to different musics like wedding musics, bridal musics, the minstrelsy and all. Okay, and he has been tempted to go into that wedding hall. But as I told you earlier, that he was somehow hypnotized by the view or the appearance of the ancient mariner. He has been stopped there, and he is forced to listen to the story of the ancient mariner. Okay, so in the first part, these are the things that is happening, and the ancient mariner started telling the story to the wedding guest, in which he told that he was on a voyage, and due to a storm, because of a storm, they were pulled aside to the southern region, or we can say the uh, uh, somehow we can say the Antarctic region. Okay, and they were stuck there between the ice blocks. Their ship was stuck in the ice blocks, and they could not move out of the area. Okay, at that time, uh, a holy bird, uh, who is also called as the messenger of Lord Jesus Christ, a holy bird, came into appearance when nothing was there, no life was appearing there, no life was uh, visible there. At that time, a holy bird who was a messenger of Lord Jesus Christ, named Albatross, flew over them. And when they saw the albatross bird, a south wind, they find. Okay, that there was a blow of the south wind, which helped them to come out of the icy region of the Antarctic region. And the helmsman or the steerman, or the crew of the ship, they steered the ship to come out of the icy blocks. Okay, and they were free now, and that south wind helped them to be to rescue themselves from that dangerous situations. Okay, and when they came out of the icy region, uh, the bird, the holy bird albatross, was always hovering over them. Okay, he was always hovering over them. That bird used to come to them to get food from them. Okay, and during the prayer time, that is 9 o'clock in the evening, in the night time, 9 o'clock every day at 9 o'clock, the bird used to come to the deck of the ship, and used to sit on the mast, and used to sit silently there. Okay, so the same events continued for a few days, and after that, what is happening? The ancient mariner killed the holy bird albatross with his crossbow. Okay, and the way he expressed this event, the way he represented this event, somehow we can say that he was repenting for the act that he had committed. Okay, and with this, the first part completed. Okay, so the first part we can say is the introduction, and also the confession of sin that the ancient mariner had committed. Okay, and he is confessing the sinful act, confessing of the sinful act to the wedding guest, to a strange or stranger. Okay, when it comes to second part, in the second part, they were moving freely because of the south wind, and the south wind all of a sudden it stopped. And when it stopped, their ship is also uh, uh, like motionless there on the surface of the ocean water. Okay, their ship is also motionless now. Okay, and the things that they are experiencing due to the things that they are experiencing because the ship has now stopped. The second part is all about the explanation of those things. Okay, like the explanation of the visuals that they are experiencing now. Okay, so that is all about the second part. When it comes to part 3 is all about the sufferings that they have gone through because of that, uh, their ship has been completely motionless there on the surface of the ocean. Okay, also the part 3 is all about the explanation of how the crew members, the 200 crew members except ancient mariner, were killed, and where they faced death. Okay, when a naked hulk, as has been told there in the poem, a naked hulk appeared there. Okay, and in that, death and life in death, they played dice, and one after another all the crew members of the ancient mariner fell dead. Okay, so the third part is all about these are uh, the summary, we can say, one line summary of the previous three parts. So today in this session we are going to have a look at the fourth part of the poem, The Rime of Ancient Mariner, by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Okay, so let's move on. The first stanza: I fear thee, ancient mariner, I fear thy skinny hand, and thou art long and lank and brown as is the reaped sea land. Okay, I fear thee. Thee means you. Okay, so this is a dialogue by the wedding guest. I fear thee, ancient mariner. If I fear thy I fear thy skinny hand, and thou art long and lank and brown, and is the reaped as is the reaped sea land sand. Okay, so the wedding guest is telling to the ancient mariner that he is thinking now that the person who is standing in front of me is actually a ghost, because he told in the previous part, he told the ancient mariner told to the wedding guest that all his crew members were dead. Okay, so now the wedding guest is somehow doubtful that the person who is standing in front of me is actually a ghost. Okay, so that's why he is telling that I fear the ancient mariner. I fear thy skinny hand, the hand that you hold me with, that you hold me with. Once he touched with the hand, so I fear thy skinny hand, and thou art long. You are very long. You are very lank and brown, as is the reaped sealed sand. Okay, the way in the seashore the sand has been scattered there, like that only your appearance is there. Okay, the wedding guest is expressing the fear that he has within him after listening to the fact that all the crew members of the ancient mariner, they faced death one after another, and there was a lump of dead bodies on the deck of the on the sea in front of the ancient mariner. So he expressed his fear through this stanza, the wedding guest. Moving on to the next stanza, here he says, I fear thee and thy glittering eye, and thy skinny hand, so brown. Fear not, thou wedding guest. This body dropped not down. Okay, so he is continuing with the dialogue. The wedding guest is continuing with the dialogue, and he says, I fear thee. Once again, he is repeating the statement, which we can say the poetic device either repetition or anaphora. Okay, I fear thee and thy glittering eye. Okay, I fear thy glittering eye. Thy means your. Okay, I fear your glittering eyes because of that glittering eye only I was hold here. Okay, I could not move. And thy skinny hand, so brown. See, he has once again repeated the same phrase, thy skinny hand, which is very brown. Okay, and with this, the dialogue of the wedding guest ended, and now the ancient mariner is explaining here. Ancient mariner says, fear not, thou wedding guest, this body dropped not down. Okay, fear not means what? You don't have to fear. Don't get afraid of me. You wedding guest, thou means you. Don't get afraid, you wedding guest. This body dropped not down. So, see, dropped not down, the poetic device inversion has been used here, dropped not down. Okay, then here the ancient mariner is trying to say, trying to soothe the wedding guest, that you don't have to be afraid of me, because I was not one among them those who were dead. Okay, I was not dead there, don't worry, I'm not a ghost. That's what the explanation that the ancient mariner had to give to the wedding guest, that I am not a ghost, don't worry, I was not dead on that day, I was alive. All others were dead, but I was not. Okay, alone, all alone, alone on a wide sea, and never a saint took pity on my soul in agony. Okay, alone. By continuing with the same words, by repeating the same words, he, the ancient mariner, or we can say the poet here, or the speaker here, is trying to put emphasis on the fact that there was nobody to help him in the wide sea. Okay, in the area he was there. Okay, there was nobody to help him. Okay, and he was all alone in the wide range of sea. Okay, and never a saint took pity on me, took pity on my soul in agony. When, see, here there is the continuation of the same statement, oh sorry, the same sentence. Okay, there is no punctuation mark used here in this line, and this sentence is continuing in the very following line. So we can say that enjambment has been used, the poetic device enjambment has been used in this stanza. Okay, so never a saint took pity on my soul in agony. It means what? When I was in pain, when I was suffering from pain, then at that time nobody was there, not a saint, not a person, nobody was there to took pity on me, to show sympathetic sense towards me. Nobody was there to help me. That's what the ancient mariner is trying to say. Okay, then the many men, so
Sir,
beautiful.
agony meaning, sir, agony meaning.
Pain. The meaning of agony is pain. Okay, sufferings. Okay, the many men, so beautiful, and they all dead did lie. and 1,000 slimy things lived on, and so did I. Okay, the many men, so beautiful. So now the ancient mariner is saying that the people, the many men here is referring to the crew members of the crew members, those who were on the ship with ancient mariner, those who are dead now. So now the ancient mariner is telling that the many men, it means what, those who are dead now, the many men, they were very beautiful. Okay, beautiful in the sense they were good people. Okay, they were very good people, and they all dead did lie. All dead did lie. Again, the poetic device inversion has been used here. Okay, and they all dead did lie. It means what? Those who are very good people, those who are very beautiful, they are all lying dead in front of me now. Okay, all of them are dead now, and they're lying dead in front of me. And 1,000 slimy things lived on. Okay, as has been told in the second part, also in the third part, that a lot of slimy things means slimy creatures. Okay, the creatures that live on the surface of the ocean. Okay, all those slimy things they lived on. Although the water of the ocean was very hot, still those slimy creatures they lived on. And I was also like one of them. I also lived on. I did not die. That's what the ancient mariner is trying to express, that I didn't die. The way the slimy creatures they lived on, even in the hardest situation, I also lived on like them. Okay, so we can say that metaphor has been used here, the direct comparison between the slimy creatures and the ancient mariner. Okay, moving on to the next stanza. I looked upon the rotting sea and drew my eyes away. I looked upon the rotting deck, and there the dead man lay. Okay, so in the second part, also in the third part, I explained that the ancient mariner was telling to the wedding guest that the sea was rotting. It means what? So rotting means what? सड़ जाना, that we call. Okay, सड़ी जाउतला. I looked upon the rotting sea. Okay, so he looked upon the rotting sea. Rotting sea means why? Why is he calling it that the sea was rotting? Because for many days the wind did not blow, and there was the extensive or heavy temperature. The temperature was very high. Okay, that's why uh, the ancient mariner told to the wedding guest that the sea was rotting. Okay, so when he looked upon the rotting sea, he drew his eyes away. It means what? He tried to look away from the rotting sea. Okay, he did not want to look at the rotting sea. I looked upon the rotting deck. Then when he was looking at the rotting sea, when he was looking at the water of the ocean, he uh, he moved his eye away from the rotting sea, and when he looked at the deck, again he is calling the rotting deck. Okay, rotting deck means why? Because all the dead bodies, a lump of dead bodies have been there. Okay, that's where he is calling that the deck was also rotting, and there the dead man lay on the rotting deck. The dead men they lived there. Sorry, they were laying there. Okay, then I looked to heaven and tried to pray, but or ever a prayer had ghost. A wicked whisper came and made my heart as dry as dust. Okay, now he looked to heaven. It means what? He looked upward, he looked towards the sky and tried to pray, and he tried to pray, but ever a prayer had ghost. Ghost here means Gushed. Okay, the poetic form or poetic word for Gushed, which means came out. Okay, so he says that I tried to pray looking upward, but a prayer did not come out from within me. Okay, I could not pray, although I tried to pray, but a prayer did not come out from my heart. Why? And he is giving the reason that a wicked whisper came. It means what? Somehow I was under the spell of uh, I under the spell of a wicked spirit. Okay, and that wicked, because of that wicked whisper, that made my heart as dry as dust. It means what? His heart was completely dried. That's why he could not pray. Okay. So once again, you can see here that no punctuation marks have been used here, and this sentence is continuing in the next line. So once again, we can say that the poetic device enjambment has been used in this stanza. So he says that I looked upon, I looked off above the sky, by meaning heaven. I looked to heaven, and he tried to pray that for help, but he could not pray because of the wicked his whisper, and that wicked whisper, that wickedness helped, that wickedness made his heart very dry. Okay, unable to pray. Okay, then I closed my lids and kept them closed, and the balls like pulses beat. For the sky and the sea, and the sea and the sky lay dead like a load on my very eye, and the dead were at my feet. Okay, so he is now telling that I closed my lids. Lids means what? Eyelids. He closed his eyes and kept them closed, and he kept his eyes closed for a period of time. But during that, what happened? The balls here means the eyeballs. Okay, the eyeballs like pulses beat. The way on our wrist we can check our pulse rate. Okay, the heartbeat, it fluctuates like that. The eyeballs used to hit the eyelids to open it up. Okay, for, and what is the reason that the eyeballs used to hit the eyelids? The reason that the ancient mariner is giving is that for the sky and the sea, and the sea and the sky lay dead like a load on my very eye. Okay, so he is now thinking that everything around him is actually a load on his eye. Okay, everything around him, whatever he is experiencing, like everything is giving him pain. Each and everything is giving him pain. Like earlier, as I told you that strange thief used strange thief was appearing. Okay, so he became happy for a period of time, a short period of time, but when it came close to it, that thing also gave pain. Now there is no blowing of the wind, so that is also a pain for him. Then all his crew members are dead now, that is also a reason of pain for him. So each and everything that he is experiencing now, whatever he is looking at now, is giving him pain. That's what he's trying to say. And apart from that, all his crew members were dead at my feet. Okay, so nothing was there to help him. Okay, even nor the sky nor the sea. Okay, nothing is uh, uh, nothing is raising a hand of help for him. Okay, as if everything is dead for him. That's what he is trying to explain. Next, the cold sweat melted from their limbs, nor rot nor reek did they. The look with which they looked on me had never passed away. The cold sweat melted from their limbs. Means from the bodies. There here means the dead bodies, the crew members who are dead now. Okay, so from their dead bodies, the cold sweat melted. Okay, the cold sweat used to come. Okay, nor rot means sorry jiba. Okay, nor rot nor reek means to give a foul smell, মানে ଗୋଟେ ଖରାପ ବାସ୍ନା ଆସିବା. Okay, so those dead bodies, ସେ ନା ତ ସଢି ଯାଉଥିଲେ, ନା ହିଁ ସେ ଡେଡ୍ ବଡିଜ ରୁ ଖରାପ ବାସ୍ନା ଆସୁଥିଲା, କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଗନ୍ଧ ଆସୁଥିଲା, ଏମିତି କିଛି ହେଉନଥିଲା ସେଠି. Okay, and the look with which they looked on me had never passed away, but the eye, the look that with which they looked at the ancient mariner, he says that I cannot forget the look. Okay, he says that I cannot forget the look. ଆଗରୁ ଯେମିତି ସମସ୍ତେ ଦେଖୁଥିଲେ, the crew members used to give a look to the ancient mariner. Okay, blaming him, making him guilt, making him the reason for their suffering. He says that look I can never forget. Okay, it means what? He is feeling very guilty now for the act that he had committed by killing the holy bird albatross. An orphan's corpse would drag to hell a spirit from on high, but oh, more horrible than that is the curse in a dead man's eye. 7 days, 7 nights, I saw that curse, and yet I could not die. Okay, so an orphan's course here, he is now uh, giving a lot of examples. Okay, an orphan course would drag to hell a spirit from on high. A spirit here means an angel, a good angel. Okay, so যদি ଗୋଟେ ଅନାଥ ଯଦି କିଛି ଅଭିଶାପ ଦଉଛି, it means what, ଯଦି ଅଭିଶାପ ଦଉଛି, then a good angel can also be dragged to hell from the heaven. On high means heaven. Okay, heaven ରୁ hell କୁ ଆସିବା ପାଇଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ବେଶୀ ସମୟ ଲାଗିବନି. Okay, they would be put, they would be banished to hell. Even the good angel will be banished to hell. Okay, but oh, more horrible than that. So he is now trying to say that the orphan's curse is very powerful, very dangerous. Okay, orphan's curse. But oh, more horrible than that is a curse in a dead man's eye. And he is now telling that uh, the curse in a dead man's eye is even more powerful than the orphan's curse. Okay, orphan ର curse, orphan ର ଅଭିଶାପ ରୁ ଗୋଟେ ମରି ଯାଇଥିବା ବ୍ୟକ୍ତିର ତାର ଆଖିରେ ଯୋଉ ଅଭିଶାପ ଥିବ ସେଟା ଆହୁରି ପାୱାରଫୁଲ ବୋଲିକିରି ସେ ଏନ୍ସିଏଣ୍ଟ ମିନିଟର ଏଇଠି କହୁଛନ୍ତି. Okay, 7 days 7 nights I saw that curse and yet I could not die. ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି 7 ଦିନ ଏବଂ 7 ରାତି ମୁଁ ସେହି curse କୁ experience କରିଛି. I have experienced that curse. I looked and I saw that curse, yet I could not die. Still I did not die. It means what? He was expecting his death for that 7 days, but he didn't die. Even after that curse, he didn't die. The moving moon went off the sky, and nowhere did abide. Softly she was going off, and a star or two beside. Okay, so the moving moon went up the sky. The moon was gradually moving upward. It was going upward gradually. It was going upward, and nowhere did abide. No, abide means to be fixed some at a point. So nowhere it did it did abide. It means what? The moon did not stop anywhere. It continued to go off in higher and higher every day, and softly she was going off. Every day it was going off softly, and a star or two beside, and a star or two followed the moon. Okay, it was behind the moon. It was glittering near the moon. Okay, her beams bemocked the sultry main like April hoar frost spread, but where the ship's huge shadow lay, the charmed water burnt away alway, a still and awful red. Okay, her beams, her here means the moon. Okay, we can say that personification has been used here. Her beams means the moonlight. Bemocked means to laugh, and sultry means hot. Okay, so her beams bemocked the sultry main. Okay, the area, the hot area. And again, similarly, you can see like April hoar frost spread. The way in the month of April, frost means, hoar means very hot or silver color. Okay, frost spread over the world like that only. The moonlight is now laughing, as if laughing in the hot area. Okay, but where the ship's huge shadow lay, the charmed water burnt alway. Okay, where the ship's huge shadow, where there is the shadow of the ship, there the charmed water burnt always. Okay, always there was heat. The water was always very hot, still and awful red. Okay, and it was always, it is not like that on that day only. No, all the time it was very hot, and it was red, like it was like red here is symbolic of the flame. Okay, it means what? It was like burning. Okay, the water was as if like burning. Beyond the shadow of the sea, I watched the water snakes. They moved in tracks of shining white, and when they reared, the elfish light fell off in hoary flakes. Okay, beyond the shadow of the sea. Okay, he told about the shadow where the water is burning, and beyond that shadow of the sea, he watched what the water snakes. Okay, the water snakes used to float on the surface of the water, and they moved in tracks of shiny whites. Okay, and when they were moving, earlier I had told you in, I think in part one, not in part one, or yes, in part two, when the ship was moving, it was making the white tracks, the white bubbles. Okay, so when the snakes are flowing on the surface of the water, or when they are moving, they are creating that white tracks again. Okay, so they were moving in the white shining, the tracks of shining white. And when they reared means to lift off. Okay, so when they reared, when they lift their head, the elfish light fell off in hoary flakes. Okay, the elfish light means the mischievous or the ambiguous light, something which is not certain. Okay, fell off in hoary flakes. Hoary means once again here silvery color, the color of silver. Okay, so when they took off their head out of the water, the hoary flakes, it fell off, means what, the moonlit fall on the head of their the water snakes. Okay, then he told about, see here he told about the area away from shadow. Now he is going to talk about the area within the shadow. Okay, within the shadow of the ship I watched their rich attire, blue, glossy green and velvet black. They coiled and swam, and every track was a flash of golden fire. Okay, so ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେଇ ସ୍ନେକ୍ସ ମାନେ ମାନେ ସେଇ ଜାହାଜର ପରଛାଇ ଭିତରେ ପହଁରୁଛନ୍ତି, ସେତେବେଳେ ସେମାନଙ୍କର କଲର କେମିତି ରହୁଛି, ମାନେ ସିଲଭର କଲର ସେମାନେ ଟ୍ରାକ୍ସ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିକି ସେଠି, ସରି ସାଇନି ହ୍ୱାଇଟ ଟ୍ରାକ୍ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିକି ସେଠି ପହଁରୁଛନ୍ତି, ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ତାଙ୍କର ମୁଣ୍ଡକୁ ବାହାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନଙ୍କର କଲରଟା ସିଲଭର ଟାଇପ ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି। ଓକେ, ବଟ୍ ନାଉ ସେମାନେ ହି ଇଜ ନାଉ ଟକିଂ अबाउट ଦ ଏରିଆ away from the shadow। ଓକେ, ଯୋଉଠି ସେଡୋ ପଡୁଛି ତାର ବାହାର କଥା କହୁଛନ୍ତି, ଯେତେ ଦୂରକୁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖା ଯାଉଛି। ସରି, ନାଉ ହି ଇଜ ଟକିଂ अबाउट ଦ ଏରିଆ ୱିଦିନ୍ ସେଡୋ। ଓକେ, ସେଡୋ ଭିତରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେମାନେ ପହଁରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର କଣ ହେଉଛି, ୱିଦିନ୍ ଦ ସେଡୋ ଅଫ ଦ ଶିପ୍ ଆଇ ୱାଚ୍ଡ देयर ରିଚ୍ ଆଟାୟାର। ଓକେ, ସେଇଠି ମଧ୍ୟ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ appearance ଟା ଅଲଗା ରହୁଛି, they were looking different now। okay, and he is now giving the description of, with the help with the colors, that blue, glossy green and velvet black। they coiled and swam। okay, ସେମାନେ ବେଲେ ବେଲେ coil ହେଇ ଯାଉଥିଲେ। okay, ପୁଣି ପହଁରୁଥିଲେ, and every track was flash of golden fire। okay, ତ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେମାନେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ମାନେ ସେଇ ଜାହାଜର ପରଛାଇ ଭିତରେ ପହଁରୁଛନ୍ତି, ସେତେବେଳେ ତାଙ୍କର କଲରଟା କଣ ହଉଛି, ଗୋଲ୍ଡେନ ଫାୟାର ଭଳିଆ ଦେଖା ଯାଉଛି। okay, oh happy living things, no tongue their beauty might declare, a spring of love gusts from my heart, and I blessed them unaware। sure my kind saint took pity on me, and I blessed them in unaware। okay, oh happy living things, oh happy living things means what, the creatures those who are living on the surface of the water। okay, no tongue their beauty might declare, he says that you happy living things, nobody is there, no tongue means no person। okay, nobody is there to declare here means explain। okay, or to express the beauty that you have within you, no one can explain the beauty that you have। okay, and a spring of love gust here means to came out, a spring of love came out from my heart। okay, so he expressed the love for the happy living creatures there on the surface of the ocean। okay, and I blessed them unaware, and the ancient mariner is telling here that I blessed them। okay, ଅଜାଣତରେ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ବ୍ଲେସ୍ କରିଦେଲି, ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ଭଲ କାମନା କରିଦେଲି ବୋଲିକି ଏନସିଏଣ୍ଟ ମେରିନର ଏଇଠି କହୁଛନ୍ତି। ସିଓ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ସେ ମାନେ ପ୍ରେୟର କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିଥିଲେ, ବଟ୍ ହି ୱାଜ ଅନଏବଲ୍, ବଟ୍ ନାଉ ହି ସେ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଆଇ ବ୍ଲେସ୍ଡ ଦେମ୍ ଅନଅୱେୟାର, ଅଜାଣତରେ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ବ୍ଲେସିଂସ୍ ଦେଇଦେଲି। ସିଓର ମାଇ କାଇଣ୍ଡ ସେଣ୍ଟ ଟୁକ୍ ପିଟି ଅନ୍ ମି। ଓକେ, ପୂର୍ବରୁ ସେ କରିପାରିନଥିଲେ, and he gave the reason that he was under the spell of a wicked spirit, but ଏଇଠି ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି sure my kind saint। okay, some good angel, some good spirit might be helping me from within, ଯୋଉଥି ପାଇଁ କି ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ମାନେ ବ୍ଲେସିଂସ୍ ଦେବାରେ ସକ୍ଷମ ହେଲି ବୋଲି ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି। and he is repeating the same line, and I blessed them unaware। okay, anaphora or repetition has been used here। okay, and by the statement sure my kind saint took pity on me, by giving this by telling this, he is trying to say that somehow the god might have forgiven him from the sin that he had committed by killing the holy bird albatross। he says that somehow I have been forbidden. That's what the ancient mariner is thinking. The self same moment I could pray, and from my neck so free, the albatross fell off and sank like lead into the sea. Okay, the self same moment I could pray. Ebong se puni kହୁchanti that earlier I could not pray, but now I was able to pray. At the time he was unable to pray, but he says that I am able to pray now, and I could pray, and he did pray. And from my neck so free, the albatross fell off. And as I told you in the second part, I think that yes, in the second part, that there was uh, uh, the dead body of the bird albatross was hanging from the neck of the ancient mariner. Okay, to state that he is very guilty and he is repenting for the act that he had committed. Okay, so now he is telling that when I could pray, when I did pray, okay, the dead body of the albatross bird which was hanging from my neck, it fell off and it sank into the water like lead. Lead is a heavy metal which when it falls into the water, it will go directly to the surf to the directly to the bottom part of the area. So he says that the dead body also it fell into the ocean water and it sank just like lead. Okay, so this was the explanation that he gave, and he says that I am somehow forbidden by forgiven by the god for having committed for the sin that he had committed by killing the bird albatross. And he says that I am forbidden by the god. Okay, so this was all about the fourth part. We have completed with the part 4 today. I hope all of you understood whatever I told you. If you want to give any suggestions or anything like that, then it's open now. Am I making sense? Are you all able to understand or not? Are you all understanding whatever I'm explaining to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, actually, except ancient mariner, why 200 other cruise ships are died, but he was alive? What is the actual reason?
Yeah, when it comes to the reason, yes.
Actually, he dead. Actually, the albatross bird was dead by the ancient mariner, but the punishment was given to other members. But he was alive.
Yes, that only ST Coleridge say. Yes, why did he write so? That ST Coleridge only can say. Okay, but anyhow, I have forgotten the name who in real life. This is actually we do not really know whether it is a real story or not. But there is a person who had killed albatross bird in history, in reality. So there might be some connection to that. So at the end of the poem, when we have completed all the 7 parts of the poem, then we will go to the analysis and we will try to find out the reason. But till today I don't think that there could be any reason for the question that you are asking. These are all the dramatic expressions. So if the ancient mariner would have died on that day along with the other crew members, other 200 crew members on the ship, then the story might not have taken place. Who would be the speaker? So I think ST Coleridge, in order to make the ancient mariner the speaker of the poem, to make it more interesting, to make it more catching, he did not make the ancient mariner uh, die along with the crew members. But still, we'll find out the reason when we have completed all the 7 parts. We'll get the reason, because in the 6th and 7th part, you find two people conversing, two people making some conversations, and from the conversation of the two people you will get a lot of answers to all of your questions, that why uh, the ancient mariner committed uh, the sin, but the punishment was given to all other crew members. Okay, we'll find out the reason.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Is there anything else to say? Okay, so is there anyone those who went with the those who followed the text, those who tried to read the text ever? Because the text is very easy to understand. No hard English has been used here. So if you are reading it, not with the very first reading, you can understand this. That is also very true. But you need to read it at least twice. Okay, in the first reading or superficial reading, and when you go for the second reading, you will definitely understand the meaning of the text. Okay, on your own. So is there anyone those who tried to read it ever? Not yet. Okay, so no problem. We are. I am showing you all the text in detail. So I hope mate to laguchi that I am making sense, and mm, you people are getting whatever I'm telling. I don't know what's what are you people feeling all. Okay, so I hope I'm making sense, but let's see whether you people are understanding whatever I'm telling or not. Any responses?
No, sir, you were explaining very well. We can understand very easily. There is
Okay.
no problem.
Okay.
Actually, there are other works of ST College are there.
Yes.
Sir, which work is important next to ancient time mariner?
Of course, the Kubla Khan is one. Okay.
It is very short. I think it is not
Yes. Yes.
long.
That's not a very long one. That's a very short one.
And
Kubla Khan
I,
is.
I read all the lines and I could I understand very easily. There is no problem. But there is a
Okay.
Christabel. I think another work is there.
Yes.
And, Christabel is important or not? There is a lot of lines are there.
Yes. Christabella is also important. That is also important. Okay.
Okay.
All the works of St. Coleridge, because St. Coleridge was very choosy, very selective. He has written many poems, but he has published few. Okay, so almost all the works of St. Coleridge will be important from the exam point of view, in order to find out the MCQs, like the way we used to discuss MCQs in the sessions earlier. We will do that once again. We will do that when we have completed with the lessons. Okay, I'll give you a few of the questions which will be helpful to all of you. And also, from that doesn't mean that I am teaching you the rhyme of the ancient mariner, so the questions will be there from the rhyme of ancient mariner only. It's not like that. Even the text, the test that is being conducted in this platform, there also will get questions from the different works of St. Coleridge. Okay, so we'll have the divergent field to understand everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so thank you all for joining in. I hope all of you understood it and I made sense. So we have completed the 4 parts of the poem The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by St. Coleridge. In the next session, we will discuss the next part, the 5th part. I wanted to discuss the 4th and 5th part of the poem in this session, in one session, but it was not possible because the 4th part is somehow very short. But when it comes to the 5th part, there are 26 stanzas are there, so it will be very lengthy. So that's why I did not do so. So it needs a separate session. So in the next class, we'll discuss the 5th part of the poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by St. Coleridge. Okay, so thank you all for joining. In the next class, we'll discuss the 5th part. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.